Hey, good afternoon. It's Tuesday, November 22nd. And thanks so much for being here. And welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. Again, thank you for checking in with the shorts and your comments and your feedback. We won't have Q&A Friday this week because of the holiday weekend, but we'll have probably a week from Friday if you all have some questions. Again, always love that part of it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for just the encouragement that it is, and for allowing me to be able to talk to you each day. That's just a beautiful blessing to me. So thank you for that. Wow. One historical note before I get to my topic today. 59 years ago, in 1963, President John Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. And it seems like it's a long, long time ago, but historically it wasn't that far. And it's just one of those things to remember how quickly things can change, because we really are. This is God's world. He can do with it as He has planned to do. And just because we don't know the future doesn't mean that God doesn't know the future. And just because change might be chaotic to us doesn't mean that it's chaotic to God. It means He's doing what's necessary to have people realize that He is God. They have a need of Christ, and we can't continue to live our own way the way we want to. And that kind of ties in with what I want to talk about today: embracing gratitude, thanksgiving as a lifestyle. See, I'm going to get some pushback on that because, well, wait a minute, I've got this situation or this person or this set of parents or this employee or this bad thing that happened to me, or this difficult living situation, or the government that I live with, the struggles, whatever it may be, physical illness. How am I grateful to that? Because the reason we can be grateful and should be grateful for that is when we don't take this life as everything. See, when we make this life everything, then we make God nothing. When I make this life everything, I make God nothing. Because this life, and the life I mean is this life here on planet Earth. Being here on planet Earth is really, really cool. But it's just the very first little inkling of all the wonders that God has for us. And that's why when we look at a passage like Psalm 100, we read these words: enter into His gates with thanksgiving. Into His gates is the place where God resides, where reigns. This is where He resides. This is where He rules. And literally that's the entire planet, and actually the entire universe. Enter into His universe, His world, with thanksgiving, and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him and praise His name. For He is good, and His love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations, in this world and in the world to come. There's no limits on God's faithfulness. In the book of Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews encourages us and says, let us boldly come before the throne of grace. And the throne of grace is this vast universe, because that's where God rules. And you and I can come before Him, not on the basis of what we've done, but on the basis of what Christ has done for us. See, that's what I mean. We've got to embrace gratitude, thanksgiving as a lifestyle. And not be hindered, not be put in a little box by the difficulties that we face. But to be overjoyed with the fact that I can have relationship with God, that this other person that I may be mad at, God's not asleep at the switch. He's going to make that right. This illness, this sickness that I have, or that you have, God didn't miss any of that. He has good things for us. You know, as I mentioned before, in 2015, Yeah, I was diagnosed with cancer of the lower tongue and lymph nodes right here. And it was a painful recovery. Obviously, I'm okay right now. But it was the best thing ever happened to me. It reoriented my life in a good way. I'm far healthier now than I was 7 years ago. And God used something that was painful and debilitating, and yes, very scary, to let me know that He is in control, that He loves me, and that I can be overflowing with gratitude. And as I mentioned before, He gave me the just beautiful example of Ruth, whose cancer was far more severe than mine. And she was overflowing with gratitude because she made thanksgiving, gratitude, a lifestyle. Because she knew who she was before the glory of God and the honor of God. And that's all that mattered to her. That's what the psalmist is trying to tell us here. Shout for joy, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before Him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is He who made us, and we are His. We are His and the sheep of His pasture. That is true regardless of my physical state, regardless of how much money I have, regardless of whether I'm sick or well, regardless of whether things are going well in my life with other people or not. Even if I've been mistreated, it hasn't slipped God's notice. Rather, He has brought all that about, orchestrated it for us so that we can see that we are His. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture. Therefore, I enter into His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. I give thanks to Him and praise His name for all that He's done. See, that's embracing thanksgiving as a lifestyle. Anger, bitterness, venting, holding sins against people, ignores the fact that God has claimed me for His own. These next 2 days between now and Thanksgiving, join with me in focusing on gratitude. Asking God to give you a heart that sees gratitude, thanksgiving as a lifestyle. Not as something we do on a nice dinner once a year. Not only that, but that every day I can embrace a mindset, a view of life that is overflowing with thanks. And when that happens, I live life in sync with God and not in sync with myself. Because when I try and make it in sync with me and make it go my way or your way, that doesn't work for us, and you know that. Let's reach out to God, be blown away by Him, and live a life of gratitude. And that's the thought for this second day before Thanksgiving. Great to have you along today. just really special. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.